Should I turn it up some?
Well, let's see how bad the buzz is. Bugs, let's see the Epiphone. I need more noise factor. Y'all ready? We got tape rolling? Is that fast enough, Rick? 1, 2, 3. Down below. Well, I got a radio, put it on soft and low. Baby, let's go to the cabin down below.
In this time in particular, this day in particular, this time of my life, I feel much more comfortable being myself. It's soul music. I think that's what I am. I think I'm a soul singer because you have to connect with your soul in a way. That's what's going on with me artistically. You know, I feel very prolific right now. I feel more like me.
This has become a real kind of pet project for me, this solo album, and I'm really enjoying working on it, and I really enjoy being able to take my time with it.
A way of avoiding politics within the Heartbreakers was to just step out of it and say this is a solo record. Because you don't want to stay in one little circle all the time. I mean, it's been almost 20 years of the Heartbreakers. And if I only made records with the same 4 people all the time, I'd never meet anyone, I'd never learn, I'd never grow. But I really needed to do it, you know. I'd been in a band my whole life, it felt like. And I wanted the freedom. I really wanted to be free of the democratic process. But I think it was time to just turn the corner and try to find another place to go, and the result was Wildflowers. I was really lucky because I knew what I wanted to do very early in life, and I didn't ever question it. I didn't have any choice. I just did it, you know. And if I'd really known how little I knew about what I was doing, I might have been discouraged, but I wasn't. I was happy to do it. And, you know, if you're lucky enough to do that, you're pretty lucky. I feel very fortunate because it all worked out.
Tom was on MCA Records. I called up the person who was running MCA Records and said, if there's ever an opportunity to work with Tom, I would love that to happen. And I was told that Tom was exclusively produced by Jeff Lynne, and there was no chance that I would ever get to work with him. And it's like, okay, thank you very much. It was like a real cold kind of brush off.
I wanted to do something different, you know. I mean, I love Jeff Lynne dearly, but I thought that I should, you know, do something else. So Mike Campbell suggested Rick. He said, I think you'll like him, and I just simply called him up.
They were asking about that.
We could also overdub when we're done. We'll do another pass of the cellos, just so we have them by themselves.
I love the ending.
You know, with Rick Rubin, Rick loves music, and that's really why I decided to work with him. It's not because of his technical skill. He has no musical skill. He plays no instrument, really. He's learning the guitar. He just loves music. He's not a corporate man.
What I have to offer is, as a fan, you know, I can come in and say what I like and what I don't like, and I don't necessarily know why, but just being kind of true to my own taste and really try to steer it in a direction that feels natural and good to me.
Should I play it to you?
Yeah.
Because you should make that a real part.
I found Rick to be very helpful, and I think he made a great contribution to the album. And I feel, in a way, I don't know if he intended to or not, that he's kind of guided me back into a musical place where I feel very comfortable.
What is great about Rick is his enthusiasm. You know, he's young. It's the first time we've worked where the boss was a lot younger than we were. We're not really good at taking instruction from people. We've never had an A&R guy or somebody who really told us what to do.
Let's try the down verse thing. All right, we'll go from a bridge into a down verse.
Bridge into a down verse.
There's really no rules in what we're doing now. Songs is what it's about.
I was never really a Tom Petty fan growing up. I liked more aggressive music before that, punk rock and harder things. He was a little melodic for my taste. And then Full Moon Fever came out. I remember I bought it after I heard maybe the third or fourth single, and I listened to it, I would say, 10,000 times driving in my car. I had moved to Los Angeles fairly recently from New York, and I would drive around and listen to that album over and over again.
He loved Running Down a Dream. We used to sing along to You're So Bad, and then no matter where, we were driving, we'd mime the acoustic guitar part there.
You know, I was working with Rick at this company called Deaf American at the time, and Tom and I, for some reason, whatever, he took a liking. I think he tolerated me and he found me amusing. And Tom was a hero, an idol. Damn the Torpedoes, for me, was probably the record that really just changed my life.
I knew he really was a song craftsman, which he was, but I didn't realize how many great songs he has. Like one after, it's like, how can there be this many good songs from one person? You don't put it together that it's all him.
After the Wilburys and Into the Great Wide Open and Full Moon Fever, he had like totally established himself. There was nothing more that he had to prove to anybody. And there he was at 40 years old, still very young and still very like fertile with songs and material. And I think my dad at that time was sort of looking around at Eddie Vedder and Kurt Cobain and going, that's me. That's who I've always, that's the spirit of everything that's me.
And that's another interesting thing about the times. It's like Tom was able to manage the changes of the styles of music that happened, still sounding like Tom Petty, but being of the moment as well.
I'm going down to the house in the woods, see my little darling.
You know what I'd like to hear, Tom? Because it's such a fascinating
What,
story.
I gotta start off talking?
Yes, you gotta tell me the story about how you came out and got your deal. How your whole career is based on a rejection letter, isn't it?
It is. Well, just let the phone finish and then...
Well, there he is now. He's changed his mind.
George is a producer and a musician of some note, and he was around a lot, you know, just on a friendly basis. And he did play things occasionally, though nobody can remember what. But he'd pick up something and play it now and then, and it got to be sort of our guru, George did.
What do you think, Mike?
What I remember of our first meeting was that it was at Mike's house, and just had general conversation about music. He had liked the album I did with Mick Jagger. He mentioned that. And we listened to the demo for Good to Be King, which was the one song, I think it may have been the only song he had written for the next project. Turned out to be Wildflowers. As he developed more material, he would call me and we would get together and listen. And then I started visiting regularly his house in the valley, and he had a little music room with a 4 or 8 track cassette recorder, and he would either play me demos or play me acoustic versions of newly written songs.
I think Rick, he was really pretty accurate in his, you know, evaluation of what I was playing him. But I never really did hire him. He just kept coming back, and we'd have another session, and then we'd stop, and then I'd write some songs, and I'd call him, and he'd come over to my house and give me his opinions of the songs and what he thought could be better or worse. And it went on and on and on, you know, for about 1.5 years.
Hey, Bugs.
Hey, man. So happy to see you.
We're back at the clubhouse,
Yeah.
huh?
Got some guitars here for you to check out.
What do we got? You know, on the Wildflowers album, we used some of these guitars.
Yeah, definitely that one.
This one is a Martin. Was used on a song called Don't Fade on Me, which was kind of a finger-picking thing. This room is the Heartbreakers clubhouse, and, you know, we were a band of brothers. This is like our home, a musical home, and we spent a lot of time in here. We've done a lot of rehearsing, a lot of recording, a lot of laughing, and living in this room together with Tom. I'm sitting here, there's a door over there, there's a table where the band always used to sit and have our meals, and I'd be sitting there waiting, and I'd see him walking around this corner. And as I look up, I can almost picture him here now. Tom has this thing that I've worked with a lot of people, really, you know, good writers and great singers, but I've never seen anybody that could do that like he could do it. He could just pull things out of the air in the moment.
Tom was a great songwriter. I had always appreciated it and known that this is incredible to be in this band. But you almost take it for granted that Tom's going to come in with a great song. But Wildflowers always stood out.
You belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere close to me, far away from your trouble and worry. You belong somewhere you feel free.
Songwriting is, it's the most fun I have when you finish one. There's no better feeling, I think, compared to all the different things we do that are, a lot of them are gratifying. None of them are quite as gratifying as finishing a song. Sometimes it's really hard to write a song. The best ones, though not always, but usually the best ones are the ones that seem to come kind of quick and they just fall out.
How's that sound good? Now, where was I? Where was it that came from?
I think
Let's
you
do this right
need
here.
to be here.
Really?
I think. I'm probably totally wrong, but I think.
Wildflowers, it's probably just for people you love, you know, or people you wish good to, you know, you wish, people you care about, you know, how you wish them well. And that song came to me, it's one of the only times that ever happened to me in my life, is I really just stepped up in my little studio at home and I put the mic on and played the whole song straight from the top to the end with all the lyric and all the, you know, the music in one go. And then I stopped the tape and played it back, and I really was kind of, you know, confused. I kept playing it again and again, thinking, well, what do we work on? You know, what would I change? And then I thought, I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to leave it exactly stream of conscious. You know?
Rick's bored now. He's art directing.
If you think of the song Wildflowers, if you don't analyze it, if you just think of it, I think of it as a solo acoustic song. It's Tom playing guitar and singing, and that's what that song is. When in reality, maybe 50 different events happen over the course of that song. And those little elements that happen, none of them draw attention to themselves. And if you're not listening, it just sounds like guitar. But it's reinforced with these different colors that keep it very interesting and compelling. And without knowing it, makes you want to listen to it over and over again.
Run away Go find a lover, run away, let your heart be your guide. You deserve the deepest of cover. You belong in that home by and by. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere close to me, far away from your trouble and worry. You belong somewhere you feel free.
People have asked me what was different about Wildflowers from other Tom records, and I always say, like, I don't know, because I was there for Wildflowers. I wasn't there for the previous one. So, Mike, how would you say making of Wildflowers was different from making the Free Fallin' album?
Well, the producer's main difference. I mean, we were getting to know you, and we had done some records with Jeff Lynne, which was a different approach to production, completely different. And with you, we wanted to get back to live performance, organic tracks, and not one thing at a time.
1, 2, 3, 4. We got to do something about this sound here. It sounds acoustic to me while I'm playing it.
Your mic is so hot.
All right, here we go.
I have always believed that the fact that the 2 records before Wildflowers were produced by Jeff had an amazingly positive effect on Tom going into Wildflowers, because he was so dialed in on songwriting, on concise songwriting. And there was no, well, the vibe is good, so let's just go. There was none of that. It was very pop structure songwriting, and then we took it and kind of made it the natural version.
I look at as Jeff, the records with Jeff they are beautiful crafted pop records. They are records.
Amazing.
And my participation was minimal on both of the records, because you know, Jeff has an idea and there's a keyboard there, he's going to play it, and that's great. But this is almost like taking what you learn from Jeff and setting it free by going, we aren't going to build it, we're going to see what happens if we do this. And it's very different, but it was very focused. It's very focused on songcraft and record craft. Yeah. But there's also a freedom in it that's really, really cool.
Absolutely.
It feels good. I think it maybe should be faster.
Harry Green was my old friend. We met in Spanish class. Helped me out of a spot I was in. He stopped a redneck from kicking my ass. Stopped a redneck from kicking my ass. Harry Green was strong and tall, played on the football team. Them good old boys said you better watch out. He's not what he would seem. He's not what he would seem. Harry Green was alright by me. Harry Green was alright by me.
I think the story of Wildflowers at the time that it was being created was about a lot of people trying to like sort of go like, no, just stay in this pen and keep churning out hits. And he was always like kicking that gate open and going, no, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends and make some music, and whatever I give you, you'll be good with, I think, for sure. You know, my dad was constantly fighting with the label, and that's like a very well documented saga. There was never a moment of victory. And so it was always like him giving these treasured records to the man, basically. But I think when they rejected Full Moon Fever, that sent my dad on a whole nother trajectory.
tempers flare and the words are spoken. You close one door and another opens. You hear the music and you wander in. You gotta get up and climb that hill again. You got to get up and climb that hill again. You gotta get up, climb that hill again.
He was never happy, you know, with MCA, so he really wanted to be on Warner Brothers, and when that opportunity presented itself, you know, he jumped at it.
Yep. Ooh. We like to record for Warner Brothers because they taste good. Bongo-like.
Very nice.
You know, we had a long run at MCA and a very successful one. You know, it just felt like time in life. I really just went to work for people that I know and can kind of trust their instincts.
Hey, baby, come on, girl. What's the matter with you?
I remember being at Cello Studios in the alleyway with you.
Yeah.
And you said you were going to make a record with Tom, and you said, who's a good bass player? And I said, Howie. And you said, no, I don't want to use Howie.
Yeah.
And I named you a couple of bass players. And I think we tried them on a couple of songs.
Yeah.
They may have wound up on one song on the record. And that's what I remember, that it started like that, and that you said you want to do something different and use a different bass player. I don't even remember if you said a different drummer.
That was from Tom, by the way. Tom wanted it to be, because he wanted it to be a solo album, not a Heartbreakers album.
I know.
And he said, if Howie and Stanley are on it, it's a Heartbreakers album, and I want it to be a solo record. And I want it to be, I don't want it to be a band record. I want it to be more like a singer-songwriter record.
And what's interesting is he got what he wanted, but it also became a band record, because till the very end, he would look at the band and go, Wildflowers is the best record we ever made.
Wow. Tom knew that he wanted this to be a solo record. And because it was a solo album, I think he felt even more like it was all on his shoulders. And I think he felt like it was all on his shoulders all the time, but for the solo albums, he felt it even more so. It was just more personal in a way. It wasn't a band offering. It was a Tom Petty offering.
Straight. Everything changed, then changed again. It's hard to find a friend. It's hard to find a friend. So that riff is. To Find a Friend. It's just a beautiful little song.
But I think subconsciously, it probably had something to do with my life, you know, because I I was becoming disenchanted with my marriage at the time.
And the days went by like paper in the wind. Everything changed, then changed again. It's hard to find a friend, hard to find a friend.
A lot of chords. I think I got it.
You got it, we go. Is there a bridge?
Hope not.
Solo, this is a goofy solo. Who's solo?
You.
Oh, that's right, cocktail.
I think I can do it. Maybe.
How's it start?
But there's a long walk at the end, right? For the ending. There's like, dang.
You know, my mother and my father had a bond that was crazy big. She was always right by his side, encouraging him to go ahead and take a stand. But there were things on this record where you're like, oh, okay, paper in the wind, I get it. You're preparing us for the cliche of what you're about to have to go through to get out of this relationship.
In the middle of his life, left his wife. He ran off to be bad. Boy, it was sad.
The marriage was falling apart. I think that had an influence on what I was doing, though I don't think I was trying to conceptualize that or make it about that. I was just trying to write a collection of tunes. I wasn't really thinking along a thematic line, but when I hear it, I can see that it was working in the back of my mind somewhere.
And the days went by like paper in the wind. Everything changed, then changed again. It's hard to find a friend. It's hard to find a friend.
There are things that are so indicative of him being in a time of change. He had sort of this complete escape in the music at that point. There's not any other album I can point to in particular that so strongly reflected what his psychological state of mind was at the time that he was making it. So in that way, I think it's very personal.
And to change their lives, change their plans. Slowly they grew apart. Boy, would it broke your heart.
He found a way to reveal the songs in what seems to be a much more personal manner. And it's some kind of evolution in the songwriting. He had hit some landmark or some watershed moment or something in his songwriting where he had gone to a different emotional place or a different way of revealing emotion.
I remember you so clearly, the first one through the door. I returned to find you drifting too far from the shore.
At the time that Wildflowers was being written, he was definitely going to therapy for the first time. And I think that that was an interesting door of perception that was opening. I think that that feeling of confidence and self-examination that he was going through at that time made him want to make a lot of different decisions about his life. And he did them slowly, methodically, carefully, and they were painful for him.
Don't fade. Don't fade on me.
I'm not obligated to bare my soul to nobody, especially in public. You know, it's a tough thing, but nobody wants to hear you moan about it. And I do appreciate that people are interested enough to want to interview me or to want to know anything about me at all. I am flattered, but it is very hard to sit down and just talk about yourself constantly. I just want to be a musician and play music.
So don't make me feel a stranger. Don't make me feel a fool. Don't make me out an outlaw. You said there were no rules.
His whole life was changing, and he didn't like change, and he was incredibly private. But I did know that this record was like, after this record, I'm divorcing your mother. Like, I could tell from just the lyrics of Don't Fade on Me. But I was really proud of him that he was brave enough to do what he thought would make him happy. I think he was ready to clean house. I think he was gearing up for it, and I don't think he even knew it until after he had written it.
We were off the road, and Mike had a studio in his house, and that's how the Wildflowers sessions sort of started, really informally, you know, by us going to Mike's and playing every day. And Stan Lynch, I don't know, and you'd have to ask him, but it seemed to me like when he was listening to the Wildflowers stuff, it just seemed like, you know, it wasn't really something that he felt he could really get behind, so.
It's time to move on, time to get going.
When we were going to do Wildflowers, what became Wildflowers, I remember running some of the songs down with the Heartbreakers, and it wasn't really that great. And Stan said to Mike later that he didn't like the material. He thought the material was too laid back and didn't think it's what we should be doing. I think that hurt me.
It's time to move on, time to get going. What lies ahead, I have no way of knowing. But under my feet, baby, grass is growing. It's time to move on, it's time to get going.
It's a horrible thing when you have to, like, you know, somebody shows you a song that you know they've worked their ass off and it's good. You know that, you know, I know Tom's good. See, this is a proven thing in my head. I go, yeah, he's good. Now, what do I do? You know, and nobody comes up with a rule book and goes, oh yeah, page 14, man, here's your drum part. You know, you go like, oh yeah, okay, I gotta cough up something here that they like, and usually they hate it. They hate my shirt, they hate my hair, they usually hate everything. So it's fun, you know, there's your challenge.
You know, with bands, you know, there can be tensions rise up over time, and it got to be uncomfortable. I think Stan felt like he was maybe being leaned on too hard to play a certain way, or maybe we were too hard on him. We were just in a quagmire of disharmony for some reason. Like a marriage, you know, it happens.
He was a very good drummer, and he was conscientious, and he worked really hard, but he had a really kind of real explosive personality, you know. He could be really sweet and really loving, and then be the biggest problem, you know. I had been working on and off on this album when I was reminded that I had to do 2 tracks for the Greatest Hits album.
Very nice. Nice track, man.
We took a break in the middle because we had to deliver 2 songs to MCA for Tom to get out of his contract for a Greatest Hits album. Tom said, let's go to another studio, let's set up an entirely different session, and let's not interfere with what's going on with Wildflowers, because what we're doing now is the future, and the Greatest Hits stuff is part of the past.
They want to do everything they can do, but
yeah,
there's a problem there.
Yeah.
You know, it's politics.
But I felt like Tom's heart was in Wildflowers, and more like this was an obligation. And we knew that the purpose of the session was to get 2 songs for a Greatest Hits album, and then we could go back to our day job of making Wildflowers, which was the real work.
Just remember to put the suspension on the bridge, or the bridge will fall down. Can't have a bridge without proper suspension, that's what I say.
So I called the Heartbreakers, and we set aside some time, and then I stopped what I was doing, and I wrote them a few songs. And we did this session, Mary Jane's Last Dance, and a few other things in a pretty quick, couple of weeks.
Let's move down here, the age of 18. She blew the boys away, it was more than they'd seen. I was introduced and we both started grooving. She said, I dig you, baby, but I got to keep moving on. Keep moving on. Last dance with Mary Jane. One more time to kill the pain. I feel summer creeping in and I'm tired of this town again.
We recorded Mary Jane's Last Dance, which was a huge hit for us, gigantically, and that's the last thing Stanley ever did with us. A couple months later, Tom called me and said, look, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I have to let go of Stan. I had to say, you have to do what you have to do.
You can't have a football team with a bunch of jackoffs. I'm out here looking for starters. You boys got too much on your mind to play football. Just that damn music and jacking off.
The first mission really was figuring out who the band was going to be. I remember we auditioned drummers. Amongst the drummers trying out was Steve Ferroni.
Oh, honey, honey, the milk's gone sour. It's a $200 an hour.
I was living in New York and a studio musician, and there was an answering service called Radio Registry that used to call and book you for sessions, and they called me up and they said, can you come out to Los Angeles and do a session? And I said, yes, I can do that. I said, who's it for? And they said, oh, it's top secret.
We had assembled a band in the studio, and drummers were kind of coming and going every couple of hours. He'd bring in a drummer, we'd play through a song once, and I'd go, no.
As I arrived, Kenny Arnos' drum kit was coming out, which was still not unusual because sometimes I get hired to play a specific song on the album, or the producer thinks that I should play these songs, a block of songs, or split an album with another drummer or something. And I walked in the control room and there was Mike Campbell and Tom Petty. I said, oh!
Hey!
Say, man, is that a drummer?
Say, man! What are you talking about?
You call that a drummer?
No! That's a rhythm technician. Yeah! Oh, yeah! Hey!
When Steve Ferroni walked in, I remember you and Mike and Tom looking at each other and going, this guy. And Steve had such a cheerful attitude.
Yeah.
And
he was
take
new.
credit, but I did bring Steve into the fold.
That's right, you did. And it was a great idea to change the rhythm section because it changed everything. Because Steve and Stan play nothing like each other, and therefore it didn't sound like the Heartbreakers. It didn't sound like the Heartbreakers. But the vibe was really good.
He played the track one time through without hearing it, and we got a take.
Are we ready? Are we again? Ready? We're ready. Let's do this.
Steve Ferroni came all the way from New York. Something to be with you people today. Thank you.
You Don't Know How It Feels was different. There was something different about it. It wasn't your regular Tom Petty approach to a song. And Rick understood it. Rick really had a great understanding of what Tom was looking for, where this album was going.
I would say that the fact that I had come from a hip-hop background made me pay particular attention to the rhythms in a way that maybe had not happened in the past.
Well, let me get to the point. Let's roll another joint and turn the radio loud. I'm too alone to be proud, and you don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels to be me.
And there was discussion about, with Rick and me and Tom, like, I don't know if we have a hit on this record. I wonder if we have a hit. And then somebody said, well, what sounds like a hit on the radio? And somebody said, that Steve Miller song, The Joker. Tom went home with that idea and came back with the song. And it was just with that drum beat was really the impetus to write it. And we've never really tried, per se, to write a hit, but it did okay, you know?
Ferrone's very key to him cracking the code of how to make it different. I could see the Heartbreakers playing all of these songs, but it wouldn't have sounded like this. It'd sound great, but it would not have sounded like this.
You don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels to be me.
And I said, now that's what I'm looking for. You know, he played instinctually. He played perfect the first time through. And I liked him. Wildflowers is really not a solo album in the sense that you'd say I went off and did it without the band, because especially with Stan gone now, it is the band. It was, all the rest of them were there, which kind of happened piecemeal. Like Mike was going to be there, and then Ben was there, and then who am I going to sing with? I want to sing with Howie.
Tom and I get along real good. I've never had one weird moment with him. You know, a lot of times working in close situations or in a creative end of things, you can like, I'll get pretty pissed at somebody or mad, but no, we get along real good.
He's just a great high harmony singer. His voice sounds very much like mine when we sing together. I think he's a very talented guy, you know, and I really appreciate him being my friend in many ways, because it's hard to find people like Howie in the world who are so pure of spirit.
Now 1, 2, 3, 4.
That feeling.
Only a Broken Heart?
Only a Broken Heart. We did that guitars first, to not to a click, but to Steve just playing hi-hat.
Because when we used to use loops on the second album, the loops I think would be Stan or Tom or somebody just beating time with a newspaper. And we'd have the loop with a human feel. And that's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing.
Only Broken Heart's one of my favorite songs on that album.
beautiful.
Absolutely love that.
But I think that's one of the best things about Wildflowers is that it's organic. All the tracks are performed by human beings. We didn't use drum machines or clicks or anything like that. And you can tell.
Yeah.
A lot of chords, though.
You could hear the wood of it. You could hear the wood of the acoustic guitars, whatever it was. The drums were everything was very natural. You know, it was very earthy and natural, for sure.
What I thought we'd do now is we're going to play some acoustic music for a while. Because I have so many songs I want to try to get in the time I have tonight. So we got a long way to go.
I think for a long time, Tom's been making records with a lot of guitars on them, but they're layered guitars. And if you have 6 or 12 guitars playing the same thing, it stops sounding like a guy playing guitar and more just like guitar. What we're trying to get at now is getting away from the idea of guitar as a bed and more as a prominent instrument played by a person with string sounds and finger sounds and the personality of a guy playing the guitar as opposed to just the sound of a guitar.
California's been good to me. Hope you don't fall into the sea. Sometimes you got to trust yourself. It ain't like anywhere else. Ain't like anywhere else.
I love the super uplifting, like, beauty and simplicity of that song. But there's an edge to it because California is where he reinvented himself. It's where he left an abusive father behind. It's where he started his own family, surrounded by friends. It's where he had wild success, and him and my mom were tenacious and crazy enough to be successful here and make it work. And I think he had a lot of appreciation for being a resident here. Like, he felt very lucky that Los Angeles existed. And yet, just the idea that he's saying sometimes you gotta save yourself.
California's been good to me. Hope you don't fall into the sea. Sometimes you got to save yourself. It ain't like anywhere else. No, it ain't like anywhere else.
I mean, that was his purpose, you know. Obviously, was to heal himself. That was the purpose of the work for him. Tom and I, we never like analyzed his lyrics together. Like, what do you mean here? Like, the therapy was making, you know, was doing the work and making the music, and that was how you work through it.
Sundown, red skies, nobody's been around. Sundown, blue eyes, I kinda like this part of town. California has been treating me good. I pray to God that the hills don't flood. Sometimes you got to save yourself. It ain't like anywhere else. It ain't like anywhere else. No, it ain't like anywhere else.
There's been a lot of time going into the writing. We're spreading the recording out over a long period of time, which is really giving the album, I think, a depth. If you're making the kind of records that just capture a moment in time, the more spread out those moments of time are, the more interesting they sound when they're put together. And we've already recorded about 15 songs that most artists would just say, well, the album's done. We have 15 great songs, pick the best 12 and put them out. But we're gonna probably record about another 15 and have the best to choose from. Or then again, who knows, maybe it'll end up being a double album, which would be super cool to me.
Be sure to tune in next week for our double albums that have failed.
Why double albums don't work? It's like, do we know we're making this landmark, incredible thing that was going to live for the ages? No, you were just doing it every day because it was so much fun, you know? Bugs is the only one who knew, you know. I'd say Bugs is the Oracle or Yoda. It's funny, you might ask Tom or Mike or somebody or Ben a question and you get the answer. And then Bugs would walk away. Actually, that's not. You know, he'd correct because he knew their lives better than anyone, and he would know every song. He would even when they went through title changes and like everything flowed through him at some point. So everything he touched everything.
So when they had enough songs that they decided to make it a double album, the way we kept track of everything was we got this chart, and they listed all the songs here. And then at the top, there's a list of things that needed to be done, like starting with whether the track was done or not, if there were words, if there were any edits to be made, all the different instruments that needed to be on there, and when it was ready to mix, they would check it off here. And the final was the George Strakoulias that shit up column.
Which meant like, something stupid, who knows, it could have been anything, but some kind of crazy sound or something weird or something stupid to do. And then you had this giant chart, and then the more songs that got recorded, the bigger this chart got. That would be the historical document that you'd always look to know where you are at any given time. So it's like, all right, leave Virginia alone, okay. We've done the guitar, what do we do? We gotta do something stupid on it. Let's do, let's try this, whatever. It was the owner's manual,
The essence of the Wildflowers record is that Tom wrote an astounding body of songs.
Absolutely.
Too many to fit onto one record.
Yeah, but I do remember I enjoyed our time in the studio every day. And I remember it definitely took a long time, but I loved what was happening. Sometimes we would work all day and it would just be one little piano overdub, but it was the right one.
It was the right one.
Yeah.
It was a vibe of what are we going to hear today? Yeah. I'm going to go play with my friends. My friend Rick is going to be there and say to the bridge, I think it's perfect. We need to rewrite that bridge and play less. And I was like, okay, I trust Rick. Okay, man, let's do it. I was really happy, I think, during those sessions.
This is the thing that was special about, and one thing about this record with Rick and Tom and me as the producers, and Ben as a contributor.
A layabout.
But the thing that Rick had, that Tom and I had, and I really miss this about him, was whatever record we were making, whoever the producer was, we would show up and go for greatness. Okay, I don't know, I wrote this song today, I may not be as good as American Girl, but we're gonna sit here and we're gonna make it better than anything we ever did. Next day, this new song, we're gonna make this the best thing we ever did. And Tom was really like that.
Every song had to be the best it could possibly be, and whatever we could do to make it, we would.
That's right. Come on, yeah.
we weren't grim and going, we're making a minimalist acoustic masterpiece that's the antithesis of everything Tom Petty has ever done. We weren't doing anything like that. We were making the record we were making. And we were doing what we always did, which was trying really hard to do it really well.
All of us would be embarrassed if we weren't getting better. That, for me, is an ongoing quest, because I think I've always thought of myself as not really that good. So I constantly keep trying to get better.
If you have a song like Crawling Back to You, the music hasn't moved. Music has an absolute mood. And so you dial in. Now, I remember my hands on the piano, seeing my hands on the piano. I remember recording the sounds that are at the beginning of it. I don't really have a recollection of playing the actual tape. And that's a good sign. If you black out stone cold sober during a take, then you're inside the music. And that's what, to me, that's one of the best things on there. That's one of my favorite things that we ever did.
I'm so tired of being tired. As sure as night will follow day. Most things I worry about never happen anyway. I keep crawling back to you. I keep crawling back to you.
Yeah, I was really pleased with that, because that's me creeping into this song there, you know. That's me, you know, worry so much about. And then when I started to think, you know, almost everything, if you make a list, that you were worried about, it never happens.
That line stuck out like a sore thumb to me for some reason, and I found myself in a lot of fear about a lot of different things, and that line really just popped out at me. And when Tom passed, I decided to have it tattooed on my arm. And I think it migrated from You Don't Know How It Feels. I think that was the demo that it was on. Yeah. And it didn't really fit, but it fit. It really did fit in Calling Back to You.
I keep crawling back to you.
I start out songs sometimes, they don't, and they go through a big transition by the time you get to the studio. Like, take this one. Well, I won't back down. I won't back down. You can spread me all around town, but I won't back down. See, that one kind of started out like that.
There was always a lightheartedness about Tom, and you could hear a really serious emotional lyric, and then all of a sudden there'd be I wouldn't call it a jokey lyric, but maybe a snide lyric would rear its head, which was more like what he was like in real life. You know, he had a great sense of humor.
Huh? What do you really think? About what? About all this? Well, I think it's a damn fine way for these youngsters to amuse themselves. Keeps them off the street and out of trouble, you know? And the only question I have is, why the damn hair? You got a good thing going here. There's a lot of talent in the room, but do you really need the damn hair is what I wonder.
His sense of humor, I think his sense of humor came from, first of all, he was really smart and he read a lot. So he told me once, I love the English language. I love words. I love to play with words. I like to mix them up, as maybe use words as a tool, as you might use notes. And I know that he probably had a library of stuff that he could pull from at any moment because he was well read, and he watched a lot of old movies, and he probably picked up a lot of lines from that. And he just seemed to be able to throw down, you know, a humorous limerick anytime he wanted to.
Well, my rash healed up since I've been wearing them jujubes. Well, the rash healed up since I've been wearing them jujubes. I had a rash from my nose down to my knees, but my rash has healed since I've been wearing them jujubes.
And a lot of times, if we were just jamming, goofing around, the lyrics would be so funny. You know, he'd just come up with, I mean, everybody just almost stopped playing sometimes because he'd come up with this crazy shit that was just so cool and hilarious that we couldn't even play.
My old man's a sailor, what do you think about that? He wears a sailor's collar, he wears a sailor's hat. He wears a sailor's raincoat, he wears a sailor's shoes. And every Sunday morning he reads the sailor's news.
That's all for free. Thank you.
My dad told me that when I was very little, I had an amazing memory for nursery rhymes and fairy tales. It was only in retrospect that I went back and read poets and people that are supposedly good at writing. You know, I always was just trying to, I still look at it like we're writing rock and roll records and shouldn't be taken too seriously.
It's fun to dive into all of that. And the playfulness in Honeybee, the sheer rock and roll in Cabin Down Below, the craft in You Wreck Me, and just the goofiness of what? I'll Be the Boy in Corduroy Pants. Just all of that, just wonderful stuff. The wistfulness, the humor, the sadness, the loss, and just everything that he's saying, which is also pretty damn funny.
I was in love with a girl on LSD. She'd see things I'd never see. She broadened her perspective. Then I got more selective. I was in love with a girl on LSD.
I mean, just the first line, where you can't lose after a line like that. You know, I was in love with a girl on LSD. Okay, where are we going with this idea? Everybody knows, you know, everybody can relate to that and wants to know what's happening next. Why? What is she doing? You know, what are you going to do about it, you know?
I was in love with a girl on China White. We were married for a year, one night. Her memory still lingers, 'cause I burned all my fingers. I was in love with a girl on China White.
You know, the thing about my dad was like, it was a ceremony. It was like, okay, you've been invited in, sit here and listen really loud for a very long time. And my first impression of Wildflowers was like, wow, this is just so much incredible music. We're dancing in all of your characters. We're dancing in all of these different places in your mind. And you've got it all happening here. This is unbelievable.
I was in love with a girl who was a dealer. afraid somebody'd come and steal her. We never used to fight, but the phone rang day and night. I was in love with a girl who was a dealer. Sure as hell, she got popped by the big guys.
I remember being frustrated that they don't want a double album. What are we going to do?
Me too.
And I think mostly you and Tom whittled it down to one album's worth
But
of songs.
I was shocked that Tom went along with the idea of a single album. I was shocked.
I was, yeah, well, not shocked, but he was just trying to, you know, make things happen. But it was hard because we didn't start out making a double album. We had all this stuff, and we thought, well, it won't fit on one record. What are we going to do? We'll make a double album. And the record company said, well, you won't sell any. And then I guess we got scared or whatever. But it was hard to whittle it down, and I didn't have a whole lot to do with that. I think you and Tom maybe worked on the sequencing.
I think it was really
it was mostly him.
More Tom, but
yeah, Tom.
I would contribute.
On all the records, it was Tom always had the final say on sequencing. He struggled with it, and he worked on it night and day.
He's a winner.
Right, here.
It's two winners.
You're trying to make a film here and you're slagging people off. You're in here, you come in here, you curse, and you slag people off.
George's been known to work blue.
He works blue. I tell you. That's good for
cheating, really.
Yeah, well, George, it's good in the short term.
It's
good in the short term.
Career burnout.
It was 2 CDs long. You know, later on, when it was all done and we were listening to it, I thought, it's very long, you know? But Rick thought it was cool to buy it. It would have been extremely expensive because of the 2 CDs. So let's just take off 10 and... So, you know, that was a hard decision. That probably took up 3 months, figuring out what goes off and what stays. And there was a song called Hung Up and Overdue that I did with Ringo on the drums. And one of my favorite singers ever was Carl Wilson of the Beach Boys. And we had Carl and just laid down these beautiful harmonies for us. And it's a great piece of work, but it's a very... sort of off-the-wall piece, and it was about 6 minutes long, and very slow, and so you can only have so many slow ones, and so something had to go.
Ringo played a small drum set, and he hit the drums fairly delicately, and this big sound filled the room. It was an incredible thing to see. He played different than other people, and it sounded different, and it resonated in a different way, and it swung in a different way.
I think that he just gave himself permission with this record to be around the finest environment and the finest artists that he could find, you know, and that I can say I remember lots of discussions and lots of excitement and lots of, you know, God, it just feels so good to be making work in this environment. When you look at the footage, you can see how happy he is.
really enjoyed the whole process. I was much closer to this album than a lot of them I've made, I think. I got very close to it and wasn't in any hurry to finish it, really. Campbell came up with these great chords that reminded me of records we used to make. So what I tried to do was really just make like a Heartbreakers record from the 70s, which I think works, you know. Lyrically, the idea behind that song was, this was meant to be the moment where you went back in time. Nostalgia, really. Me, and I just thought it should be a fun one, like, you know, it's a very rock and roll kind of, I don't know what it is, but one of my favorite ones, really.
Pull that harmony. Guys, can everybody come inside, please, and just listen to the track?
They might have already heard you.
Is everybody here? Everybody? No, we're missing the other guys.
Do you want me to play them? What do you want them to hear first?
They should hear their own track so they can hear where the...
Yeah, they don't need that.
There are certain notes go out, which will happen. I can't and will know.
There's something about the artist's work that has a little bit of a diary-like aspect. The work reflects a time in someone's life. That it wasn't always conscious where it was coming from. He told me Wildflowers scares him because he's not really sure why it's as good as it is. So it has this like haunted feeling for him. He very much wanted to re-release it. He thought it was really important because the legacy of the Wildflowers album loomed large in his career. And he knew that the second half of Wildflowers was an important statement.
You follow your feelings, you follow your dreams, you follow the leader into the trees.
You want to drop in or start again? Huh? You know these headphones are leaking hi-hat really loud. Are they supposed to? Sorry, I can't hear you.
I had no control over what I wrote this time. You know, I didn't edit myself, and I didn't hold back anything, or I just let it come out, you know. So now there is another batch of work that'll come out later, I guess. You know, I thought we should write an ending for this thing. And Wake Up Time is sort of the finale.
Wake Up Time is really a beautiful, beautiful song. I thought, and the way that was recorded was Tom sat at the piano and just played the piano and sang it. And he asked me just to tap hi-hat just to keep him in time. But there's a breathing that happens. You know, the song breathes.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Follow your feelings, you follow your dreams, you follow the leader into the tree.
It's always been about the songs. You know, this is a song. Whoever's here now that's going to work on this, let's make this song live. Don't get in the way of it. You know, make it work. And so Wildflowers was the same thing. You know, make the songs work, bring out the best in the songs, and have a lot of fun while you're doing it. We all enjoyed that record a lot. There was never any negativity or fighting, or it was all just almost like, well, do we have to stop? I guess we have a double out. We have to stop now. You know, what are we gonna do now? We could have kept on making it. You know.
I thought it very important that we ended up on a hopeful note. You know, some of this subject matter on this album is downright dark. And I'm sure that I've been through those downright dark periods, but it's always just believing that there is something redeeming about human beings. That's what carries me through, you know, the toughest times.
He's a unicorn. He's a one-of-a-kind human being on this planet that came here to bring joy. And it's like, you know, that was his purpose.
You spend your life dreaming, running around in a trance. You hang out forever and still miss the dance.
But losing Tom, it changed the way I hear him. You know, I think it happens with a lot of artists. When you lose them, you appreciate them more. You go back and take a look. And we've been doing a lot of going back and taking a look since Tom passed away.
It was emotionally hard at times to listen to songs of your friend who's no longer here. It was emotional. And other times it's just joyous. Oh, thank God, you know, we did that. We were really good, you know. So it's a whole plethora of experiences on this record.
I think every member of the Heartbreakers is happy that Tom's wishes have been, you know, we're his band, and all we wanted was what Tom wanted. He wanted this record out, and he wanted people to hear it. So he's got what he wanted. He usually did get what he wanted in the end. He had a way of doing that.
Rise, shine. Well, if he gets lucky, a boy finds a girl to help him to shoulder the pain in this world. And if you follow your feelings, you follow your dreams, you might find the forest there in the tree.
I'm very pleased with that one. I thought it was one of the best things I'd ever done. And I always like that line where you're going to be, what is it? It's going to be all right. It's just going to take time. And that was the idea behind it. It was just to kind of say everybody's been knocked around a little bit, but it's, you know, you've got to keep some kind of faith in yourself, and that you'll probably be all right.
You're just a poor boy, a long way from home. You're just a poor boy, a long way from home. And it's wake-up time. It's time to open up your eyes and rise and shine.
God bless you. Good night.